All right, welcome everybody to this stay-at-home Yeti puppet making tutorial. My name is Christopher Lutter-Gardella of Big Animal Productions, LLC. I'm the maker of the Holidazzle Luminous Yeti interactive installation. And seeing as how this year we're all hunkering down at home, we figured it would be nice to share some projects that you can do at home with your family. Today, I'm going to show you how to make your own miniature version of the Yeti using common household recyclables. So I'll show you. Here's my prototype. Let's see, you need to sit down. Sit down, Yeti. This is my prototype. So you can see kind of what we're going for. He's a puppet, so you can play with him at home as you please. You can set him up in your tree. You can give him as a gift. But I'll show you how to make this cool recycled material puppet Yeti. So consider this guy as a kind of a spirit lifter. You can display him in your window, or like I said, sit him in your tree, or give him as a gift to somebody that you really care about. So with no further ado, I'm going to show you what I use to make this Yeti puppet. Stand him back over here. So what you'll be needing is a milk jug or equivalent, like a water jug, 2 aluminum cans or 2 tin cans, 5 toilet paper rolls, or you could also do it with paper towel rolls that you cut in half or whatnot. It's nice to have a little bread tie if you have one. And as for our tools, well, actually, and I shouldn't forget, plastic grocery bags. If you've got about 6 or 7 plastic grocery bags, whatever color, I'm using all white in this tutorial, but you can mix it up a little bit and use different colors. A pair of scissors. They could be kid scissors too, because it's very simple scissor work. And it would be really nice if you had some glue all. If you don't have glue, you can make the tape work for most of the things that we're doing as well. So, and the tape that I have here, I'm going to be using is duct tape, but you can also use masking tape or cellophane tape. So you can kind of improvise with whatever you have in the house. So let's get started. I'm going to move this stuff away here. So what you want to do first when you're making this Yeti is stand the tin cans like so. These are going to be his legs. So, and we're going to stand the milk jug up on the tin cans just like this. See? So, and this is his body, obviously. So stand it so it kind of, and you can see we're putting the tin cans about right in the middle here and here on the milk jug. So we want to hold those there as his legs. So what we're going to do is get a little piece of duct tape. I'm going to put it on the can like this, about half of it on the can, and fold this back like so. Same thing with the other can, like this. Fold it back like so. And then again, we can kind of stand it, we can line it up and go boom. And I'm doing this solo right now. If you can do this with a family member or mom or dad or with your kids, it's a lot easier when you have 2 people working on it, but I'm going to show you how to do it just working by myself. So there you go. It's a little tricky. So I'm taping those on, see, so that they act as his legs. And you can also sit down if you want to lean them like this. So, and also whenever we use this tape, especially if you're using masking tape and such, you'll want to do a long piece to kind of keep the tape from pulling up like this. Across there, see? So there he is, standing on his own 2 legs. Next, I want to do the feet. So obviously the Yeti has some big feet that stick out like this. So I'm going to take one of those paper towel rolls, or those toilet paper rolls, and cut it in half, see? And then I'm going to take a few little pieces of tape and close one of the ends like this. Another piece of tape here to close one of the ends. And we want to attach these short little pieces of toilet paper roll just like this. You can see that. And I'm going to take short little stubby piece of masking tape like this, similar to how we did with the tin cans. I'm going to hold his foot down. I'm just going to, or hold his leg down. Just go like this. So these tape, they're kind of like little hinges so that his joints can move. See? Like this. Stand up, Yeti. All right. And we're going to do the other foot like this. So there you go. Sticky stuff. See? Stand up, Yeti. There you go. So now his legs and his feet are on, and we're going to do the arms. I'm going to lay the body aside just for a moment. And I'm going to use one of these rolls as an upper arm and one as a lower arm. And I'm just going to put like a hinge there, see? With the tape. Take a little piece of tape. Give him an elbow hinge, right? Like this. So I'm going to do both the arms like this. We're working on his elbows. Here we go. Turn this around like this. Again. Like this. See? So 2 arms. And now we're going to put the arms onto the body. So, but again, if you're working with the masking tape or the cellophane tape, the Scotch tape, you can cross over like this. This is an old puppet making technique when you're using tape, excuse me, just so that tape doesn't pull up, see? Okay, let's do that. Do the same thing here. And then we'll put the arms on. Let me stand them back up, or let's sit them down. We want to put the arm right here, right at the bottom of the slope of the bottle, you see? Put the arm right there. So what I'm going to do up by his shoulder, take another piece of tape like this. I'm going to put it inside the tube like so. A lot of kids out there are master tape constructors, so some of you will know how to do this kind of stuff just from putting stuff together with tape. It's a really cool way to put stuff together with tape. See? There you go. Now he's got an elbow joint, and again, a piece across here just to keep it from pulling up like that. And then same thing with the other arm. So again, look at where his elbow bends. See? We want the shoulder to meet the body about like this. You'll get the hang of it as you work on it. Boom. See? So let me just tip this up a little bit. You can see him right there. Nice. All right. So now I'm going to set the body aside. That's the skeleton of the whole structure here before putting the fur on. I'm going to show you how to make the head. So remember I said get 7 plastic grocery bags. We're going to take one of them and then stuff it with 4 other bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So we're going to put these 4 bags inside of this bag, like this, into the corner of that bag, like this. See? Just make a soft sculpture. You can kind of shape it with your hands a little bit like this, stuff it in a little bit more. So you're kind of sculpting with this plastic to create like it's like making a stuffy, you know, a stuffed doll. So you can see I'm trying to get the general shape of the head like so, and I'm pinching it right here. I want to twist it maybe and take that bread tie. And if you don't have a bread tie, just use a little tape to kind of cinch that off like this. See? So that's the head. And we're going to take this remaining plastic like this, And we're going to fold it over a couple times like this. We want to make a plug. See? Like this. So for this, I'm just going to demonstrate with this masking tape that I have here, because you can just kind of go like this. I'm going to make a plug that plugs into the nozzle of the bottle, okay? So you don't want to compress it too tight because you want it to be kind of snug in the bottle, as you'll see here. We're going to stick that plug into the nozzle of the bottle, the opening, and that's how the head is held on like this. See? Let me just set my thing up a little bit now that we're getting them constructed a little bit higher. See? And plus it can have a little movement when you go to puppeteer it, because it's kind of hanging out like that. See? So that's the Yeti skeleton. Now, his whole structure is formed. All we have to do now is cover him with the fur. You can see, before he has his fur on, he just looks like this assemblage. But as you saw from you showing the demo here, when you get the fur on him, he's looking pretty sharp. See? So I wanted to show a little trick here before we get into the fur making. We have the corner of a plastic bag. So if you take any of these plastic bags, take some of the ones you haven't used yet, and you pull out the corner of the bottom of the bag like this, you see? So that's the corner. You can see how that corner makes for a really interesting Yeti ear. Isn't that interesting? Yeah? So that's where I get the ears from, is from the corner of the bag like this. So you kind of want to shape it and pinch it like this and kind of get about the size that you want. You want to leave a little extra for attaching to the head here. So cut it off so that you have a little extra. You can take a little tape and wrap it up, okay? And you have your Yeti ear, just like this. And then you can attach it to the side of the head, okay? Remember, the Yeti's ears kind of stick out like this. Like that, okay? So we're gonna add the ears on each side, but let me go to the making of the fur. What we're going for is to create courses of fur like this. How did I do this? Well, you cut out the non-printed side of the bag of any of those plastic bags you have, okay? And here I have the white bag. Like if you have brown, like grocery bags, make a brown Yeti. If you have blue or green, I know that these plastic bags come in various colors. You can feel free to make it whatever color you want. But once you have this non-printed piece of the plastic cut out of the bag, you want to lay it down and fold it in half once, like this. Fold it in half twice. Fold it in half 3 times, like this, to create this folded unit like this. Now this is going to harken to kind of snowflake making, right? So folding and then cutting and then unfurling, right? So we're going to want the fur pieces to be about 1.5 inches. And if you have a ruler, that's great, but it doesn't have to be perfect. 1.5 inches for me is about 2 fingers wide. I'm going to cut this band of material like this into shorter lengths of the 1.5, right? Again, it's not an exact science. It's just, and everybody working on your puppets out there, you may decide that you want your hair to be longer or shorter. And this is how you determine the length of the hair here. I'm making all of mine about that 1.5, like this, see? And then once you have these, excuse me, you can see that I have this little piece here and you want to cut it like this, about 2/3 through, like this, not too far. And you can make the hairs as wide as you want to make them. I tend to make them a little bit finer because it kind of looks cooler, like this. You can see that. So I cut that, and then when I unfurl it like this, I've got like a supply of fur that I'm going to put on the Yeti. Okay, so you want to do that. You'll make several courses of fur. Cut up at least one whole side of an unprinted side of a plastic bag, and once you get a nice supply, then you can start adding the fur to the Yeti. I'm just going to lay them like this. We don't have to stand them up as we're working on them. And I'm going to start at the feet and work my way up the legs, and then same thing on the body. Start down at the base of the belly and work my way up the form like this. Okay, it's a little bit easier, like I said, to work on him when he's laying down. So I'm going to demonstrate how to start at the toes here. So I'm going to use my Elmer's glue all. And like I said, you know, you could use tape to do this, improvise with tape. But because I have the glue all, it's a little bit easier. So let's do this. There's a little dried on the tip here. Okay. So we want to start at the tips of the toes, see? So put a little bead of glue like this. Okay. I've already got a pre-cut piece like this. So I use a little length like this. Give him his hairy toes. I could even take this long length of it and just keep gluing. So it's like shingling. This is just like shingling your house. You start at the eaves and you work your way up and just overlap them as you go up like this. Another piece of fur like this. Work my way up. I can just kind of glue it down and then trim it as I go along here. I'm just going to do the top of the foot. Don't want the sole of the foot not to be hairy, but the next piece is going to go about right here, you see? So I'm working my way up. And like I said, if you have desk tape or whatever, if you don't have glue, you can use tape, you know. Takes a little doing. You cut your piece and you put the tape on it and tape it down. But my first prototype that I made, I didn't even use glue. I used all tape. And then decided to try the glue style like this. So you're working your way up the foot, and then you're going to work your way all the way up the leg. Keep shingling up, always starting at the lower part and working your way up, you know. Start down here at the belly, cut longer pieces. I'll just demonstrate quick on the belly how to do this here. So obviously, you know, if we have the legs done and I'm starting on the belly, we can use long courses like this on the belly, you see? So starting even down here at the bottom of the belly. See? So again, put your bead of glue, they call it. You don't need a whole lot to hold this plastic on because the plastic is so light. Like this, you get the picture. Starting the belly. And I'm just going to do the front of the belly. I can always come back and do the back later, see? One, working your way up like this. I'll do one more course and then you can take it from there like this. So you can see the technique like that. So I keep working my way all the way up. And this is a good project where you can kind of work together, one person on one side of the table or at the corner of the table, and you can, you know, just take your time, turn on a little music, you know, talk to each other, and just enjoy detailing this. It's kind of like making a piñata, to be honest. It just takes a little time, see? And it's relaxing if you just take your time and enjoy doing it. So you're going to work your way all the way up the belly. Let me turn this up here like this. And when you get up to the head, You're going to want to put his beard on, and you're going to want to leave openings for the eyes. Let me get my prototype here. Show you what I mean. You can see him, and I used much smaller fringe. So when I started cutting my fringe, I kind of made it a little bit shorter, maybe more like an inch length, like this, or less, and started, with the beard. Same technique that I just showed you, but we're just doing it on the soft sculpture. You do the beard, you leave a little gap for the mouth, do the mustache, leave some open area for the eyes. And I took markers, very easy. Just take the markers and draw the eyes in, and make sure you get plenty of hair up on his head here. You can see those cool little ears that I made out of the corner of the plastic bag that I taped on. You want to work around those. And just, like I said, take your time to cover the whole thing over with the fur, and you'll have your amazing, hairy, spirit-lifting Yeti. So I hope you all have fun with this, and wishing everybody a happy holiday, happy Holidazzle, and have fun making your stay-at-home Yeti. Yay!